Hello, it's 9 p.m. in RTD's time to English New Edition for tonight headlines. We have Puntland President Said Abdullahi Deni has arrived in Djibouti today. The Minister of Transport visited the new road construction machineries for the northern region. For the international scene, mobilization continues to prevent the ecological disasters in Mauritius. Welcome to our newsroom. The President of the State of Puntland in Somalia, Said Abdullahi Deni, accompanied by a large delegation of members of his government and senior officials, arrived in Djibouti at noon today for a working visit. On arrival at Djibouti airport, the Puntland delegation was welcomed by the Minister of Foreign Affairs in the presence of the Minister of Transport, Musa Mohamed Ahmed, of the President's offices. After his arrival, the Minister of Foreign Affairs, Mahmoud Ali Yusuf, the Minister of Foreign Affairs had a brief meeting in the VIP lounge at Djibouti Airport. Ways and means of strengthening cooperative relations between the two parties were discussed during his stay in Djibouti. The President of Puntland will have talks with the highest authority of the country. The Minister of Defense in charge of relations with the Parliament, Hassan Omar Mohammed, raised Captain Bruno Romer on Tuesday, 11 August 2020, to the rank of officers in the National Order of 27 June. The solemn ceremony held at the offices of the Minister of Defense by presenting the insignia of the officer's star to the recipient. The minister saluted on behalf of the President of the Republic the brilliant and long professional careers of Captain Bruno Romer with our institutions of police and national gendarmerie. Thanks to his professional experience, Captain has contributed to significantly improve the professional capacity of different institutions of the national gendarmerie and the national police. In the evening of yesterday, the Minister of Health, Mohamed Warsamadiriye, chaired a midterm review meeting of the measles vaccination campaign. Listen to this report.
The Minister of Health, Mr. Mohamed Warsamadiri, chaired yesterday a midterm review meeting of the measles vaccination campaign. This meeting was attended by many officials from the Department of Health to review the progress of immunization coverage of the mass immunization campaign targeting children aged 6 months to 15 years old. According to the midterm reports, the performance indicators show a significant progress in immunization coverage, which should make it possible to achieve the objective of 95% at the end of this campaign. The Minister of Health, Mr. Mohamed Warsamadiri, urged the actors involved to strengthen their commitments in order to reach 100% of the children targeted by this measles immunization campaign. Tonight, we are gathered at the expanded program on immunization at the Directorate of Immunization Programs. The Minister of Health, His Excellency Mohamed Warsamadiri, came to see us at the program to assess the status of the vaccination campaign. So he accompanied us with all the children who have been vaccinated. The objectives were achieved. Everything is going very well at the moment. We hope to reach by the end of the campaign 100% of the objectives that are recommended by the Ministry and UNICEF.
The Minister of Equipment Transport, His Excellency Musa Mohammed Ahmed, visited in Tajura in the north of the country yesterday morning to preside over a ceremony of the heavy machinery handover accompanied by the General Directors of ADR, Mr. Subani Saeed Ismail, and his close collaborator. The Minister presided over the ceremony for the handing over of the keys of the new road construction machinery for the northern region. On his arrival, the Minister was welcomed by the local authorities and the elders of Tajura region. This ceremony was attended by the Deputy Prefect, the Acting Prefect, Mr. Habib Jilani, the President of the Regional Council, Mr. Omar Hussein, and other elders of the region. This investment includes a new fleet of graders and loader, an excavator, and 3-band truck. The ceremony ended with the handing over of the keys to the local authority officials of the Tajura ADR. For his part, the president of the regional council, in case Mr. Omar Hussein, in his intervention praised the effort of ADR, which spared no effort to meet the expectations of the Tajura populations in terms of material, likely to reinforce the road construction policy. Not long ago, the regional officers spoke on the urgent need to build and rehabilitate road which hope for a better tomorrow remains justified. We knew that investing in road construction project is synonymous with the regional socio-economic development. He said it is everyone's duty to take good care of these materials, which are President took this opportunity and said that the idea came from where one can receive a lot of sophisticated materials from road construction. So today we had received important batch from the ADRs, and the Tajura region is as expected to meet the population of Tajura. During his speech, the Minister of Equipment Transport, Mr. Mohammed Ahmed, was pleased to have responded to the grievance expressed by the people of the North on the rehabilitations of the road and track during the regional towers of the President of the Republic last March. It is with this in mind that we are here in Tajura for the handing over of the road equipment following the grievance of the population. Within the framework of the towers, there is a committee that follows all the grievances made by the population in all areas. In addition, the minister wished the population of the North that this equipment will now contribute to strengthening the living basis of Tajura, Obok, and to maintaining the state of road throughout the northern region. The minister recalled that the ADR has 2 parks in the south, in the hill, which reinforces the living basis of Al Sabih. For that of the north, the basis is in Tajura, which also reinforces the state of road in Obok. The minister stressed that the Tajura region is in full expansion since the opening of the port of Tajura, and that road maintenance is essential. The Secretary of State for Youth and Sports, His Excellency Hassan Mohammed Kamil, received this morning in his office in the presence of the Honorable Aisha Ali Qayada, the Member of Parliament, the Secretary General of the Secretary of State Khadija Ibrahim Idris, and the Director of Youth Khaltoun Ige, the young people of Gubeto, who have been visiting Djibouti City since yesterday. It was an opportunity for youth to express their satisfactions and gratitude to the Secretary of State for Youth and Sport for keeping the promises made during his visit to Gubeto last month. They also took the opportunity to voice their grievance at the constructions of a CDC and sports platforms dominating by debate. Taking note of their recommendations, the Secretary of State for Youth, Hassan Mohammed Kamil, encouraged this initiative, which aims, according to him, to introduce With the discovery and interactive exchanges between young people from different areas, a new reflection is conducive to the emergence of a sense and belonging to our countries, a nation, a people, in short, long love our country. Under the impetus of the support of the Secretary of State for Youth and Sport, the Egyptian Handball Federation organized yesterday evening at the Fire of Stadium City opposite the Community Development Center, one of the oldest youth houses of yesterday, a gala match. More detail in this report.
Under the impotence and support of the Secretary of State for Youth and Sports, the Djibouti Handball Federation organized yesterday evening at the field of the Stadium City, opposite the Community Development Center, one of the oldest houses of youth of yesteryear, a gala match which pitted two teams composed of former players winning a show. Fans in recent years just behind football, the sport king, and their this handball gala the Director of Sport, Mr. Abshir Ali Hassan, and the President of the Djibouti Handball Federation, Mr. Ahmed Mohammed, allowed for reunion whose strong hugs and embraces said a lot about the diminution of emotions of friendly and fertile joviality between men who have shared high moments of glory and defeat and who have lost sight of each other, for some of them, for 20 years. The players have promised, like football, to raise awareness among former handball friends to form several teams of veteran players of this sport discipline. Today we have the opportunity to get together all the former players. It is a great pleasure because we don't fight each other in everyday's life. Often we don't get this chance. Moreover, we would like to organize this kind of event often to meet former athletes, former friends, national teammates. It is to convey a message to young people to fight against idleness, crime, to practice sport more often.
The summer animation is still going on this time. It took place in front of the complex King Fahad with a strong participation of the population coming from the big suburb of Balbala, animated by the Egyptian artists of talent who set the atmosphere throughout the evening.
الليلة بالليل نمشي شارع النيل
أنا وإنت سوا
قهوة بمزاج
الليلة
انت السكر
وده هي دوا
كوكيا مانا مرحرا ديوا مالعيو قفتا يوفانا ليتو
دمني كان سرقني أنت عمودي دناهي وشيقبا وإلى تقالا hablaga inta kunka korkiisa ku nool hablaga inta kunka korkiisa ku nool haddaan kugu koobay kaskiyo maankaygo kalsooni abuuray
baahidaada jacaylka anigoo u basheelay bal haddaad iga dhaaftay ood baxnaani ilowday ood baxnaani ilowday ood baxnaani ilowday baxnaani ilowday
The signature of a memorandum of understanding between the mediator of the Republic of Djibouti and the National Ombudsman of Turkey by virtue of this memorandum initiated by the Djibouti Ombudsman Dr. Qasim Isaac Osman and his Turkish counterpart, Mr. Siraf Malkosh, in the presence of the Djibouti ambassador to Turkey, Mr. Aden Hussein Abdullahi. The two institutions undertake to strengthen bilateral cooperation through the organizations of training activity and study visit consultations to consolidate, coordinate the positions of the two institutions within the regional and international bodies and the exchanges of experience and documentation. They also agreed to cooperate in several files and to increase the number of meetings with a view of to broadening the horizon of cooperation and raising them to the level of solid relations between the two friendly countries. Within the framework of the activities of project trainings of young people for entrepreneurship, FORGE, the Djibouti Social Development Agency launched the activities of contact on August 9 and 10 with the holding of working meeting in the presence of the acting prefect of the region of Tujura, the sub-prefect of Dorra, the president of the regional councils, and the local elected officials of Dorra and Balho. Listen to Din Musa.
The Djibouti Social Development Agency launched the activities of contact on 09 and 10 August 2020 with the holding of a working meeting in the presence of the prefect of the region of Tajura, the sub-prefect of Dora, the president of the regional council and local elected officials of Dora and Balho. The main objective of this project is to improve the accessibility of the young people and women to income and job creation opportunities through training, financial support, and local assistance for the implementation and sustainability of their income-generating activities, training in entrepreneurship and self-esteem on the design and implementation of an income-generating activity, a very small enterprise and a small and medium enterprise. For 3,000 young people, business plan competitions and financing of the 500 best projects through donations capped at 400 million Djiboutian francs per group of 3 people. Our tour this morning in Balho and Dora is part of the launch of Project Forge's activities. It is a training project for young people but also for women in the field of entrepreneurship. Project Forge is a project that aims to promote the emergence of small businesses in the region of Tijoran, especially in the corridor and in 2 major cities, namely Balho and Dora. It should be noted that our training courses lasts 2 months. These 2 trainings are in the field of business creation, in the field of business management, but also in the field of self-esteem. At the end of this training, the Forge project team or the Forge trainer intends to develop and set up business plans with the young people and organize business plans competitions. We plan to create 25 income-generating activities at the Balho level and at the level of Dora. Candidates who wish to participate in our trainings can register at the Dora or Balho CDC.
Under the aegis of the Secretary of State for Youth and Sport, the Djibouti Football Federation has been organizing since Sunday, August 9th, a training course for coach and referee of the Al Sabah regions at the Community Development Center. More detail in this video.
The supervision of the Secretariat of State for Youth and Sports, the Djibouti Football Association has been organizing since Sunday, August 9, a training course for coaches and referees of the Ali Sibih region at the Community Development Center. The training established by the DTN and the Central Referees Commission. The coaches have familiarized themselves with the basic techniques on the models of knowledge of the child and warm-up and the group work of participants have been constituted. As for the referees, they were initiated at the technical level of the laws of the game number 1 and number 2, with the revision practical after the break. The arbitration trainers started the participants on laws number 3 and 4 at the physical level. They followed the theme relating to the impact of confinement COVID-19 and tips for a safe return to a referee training. The launching ceremony saw the participation of the prefect of the region, Mr. Musa Aden Migan, the sub-regional director of the SEGS of the region, Mr. Ahmed Musa, the president of the Regional Football League, Mr. Jibril Umar Hosh. The prefect of the region took this opportunity to urge the participants to take full advantage of this training to later implement these achievements in the region. This technical training would build the capacity of coaches and referees in the region in line with the recommendations, the policy of decentralization of developed services. This technical training is a complement for technicians, coaches, and referees in charge of supervising the young players involved in the regional championship of Ali Sibih. And why not the tournaments that take place in your different neighborhoods to supervise the youth of Ali Sibih and indicates that football is above all respect for others, respect for the referee, and the application of the rules of the game. That's the most important thing.
The prefect of the region, Musa Aden Mikane, took this opportunity to urge the participants to take full advantage of this training. Listen to this report.
Venu pour nous transmettre donc de savoir, savoir-faire, de compétences. Hein.
They came to pass on knowledge and skills to us. It is the transfer of skills, what we call, that is very good. My objective is that Ali Sebih takes care of itself as well as you. After you became trainers, now they send you to train during this week. But after the training, what are you going to do? You know that football is the best way to develop young people's sense of belonging.
We are saddened to announce the death of the late Momina Gelle Ahmed, who passed away last night in neighborhood 4. She was 100 years old and was buried this morning at the cemetery in Pika 12. Born in 1920 in Djibouti, the deceased left behind her a large family including 4 children, 19 grandchildren and dozens of great-grandchildren. The deceased was the aunt of the President of the Republic and of the current directors of EDD, sharing the grief of the family. The management and all the staff of RTD addressed their most saddened condolence to the President of the Republic and to the whole families of the late Momina Ahmed Gelle. May Allah the most merciful welcome the deceased Momina Gelle in his eternal paradise. Inna lillahi wa inna ilayhi raji'un. For the international scene, a race against times to avoid ecological disasters, the interventionist team on Mauritius mobilized on Monday, 10th August, to prevent another oil leak in its paradise waters. More detail with Dinusa.
A race against time to avoid ecological disaster. The intervention teams on Mauritius mobilized on Monday 10th August to prevent another oil leak in its paradise waters, as the standard boat with nearly 2,000 tons of fuel still on board threatening to break up at any moment. The bulk carrier MV Wakasho, which was carrying 3,800 tons of fuel oil and 200 tons of diesel, hit a reef at the point the Ensei on 25 July. A crack in the hull resulted in an oil leak that contaminated coral reefs, langours, and mangroves. This was an unprecedented environmental disaster for this Indian Ocean island.
Over the next 4 months, the United States will continue its military withdrawal from Afghanistan as inter-Afghan peace negotiations progress, the U.S. Defense Department said in a statement Monday. Listen to Din Musa.
The next 4 months, the United States will continue its military withdrawal from Afghanistan as inter-Afghan peace negotiations progress, the UN Defense Department said in a statement Monday, August 10. Our current trajectory is to have fewer than 5,000 U.S. troops in Afghanistan by the end of November, the document said. The Pentagon made clear statements by U.S. Defense Secretary Mark Esper, who appeared to be announcing a withdrawal on Saturday. We are going down to less than 5,000 by the end of November, he said, adding the Pentagon would first have to make sure that the United States was not threatened by terrorists from Afghanistan.
This is it for the news. Thanks for watching us.